All right, good afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon. No.
All right, so my name is Oluwaseunwade Komi, and I'll be your compere for today. A brief introduction to about our speaker. Our speaker is Engineer Esther Joshua. She's passionate about technology and she has a knack for problem solving and innovation. She's armed with a Bachelor of Science in Management Information System from Covenant University, currently ranked the #1 university in Nigeria. She has honed her skills through diverse experience as a young professional. Her dedication and strategic mindset to deliver results has placed her in rooms beyond her years. In her current role as an IT support specialist, she's instrumental in providing technical assistance to internal users and maintaining the organization's IT infrastructure. Her career journey began with web development and design using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP during her college years. She then transitioned into other areas of technology, and she has developed her skills in customer support, incident management, among others. Her area of expertise includes hardware and software troubleshooting, IT infrastructure, management, web design, web development, and business intelligence. She has worked with various sectors such as construction, fashion, information technology, and currently healthcare. She has earned a few certifications from various institutions such as Google, the Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology, and University of Colorado. She has also been on several talk shows on Splash FM Abeokuta with the president of Oguta Community, Sadekule Durosimi, to discuss technology and her love for the field. Aside anything technology, she loves cooking, which I can attest to by watching her status every day on WhatsApp. She loves cooking for her friends and family, volunteering, and of course, relaxing. She's committed to being the very best at what she does by staying at the forefront of new trends in innovation and technology, and also by continuously seeking opportunities for growth and development. I might add also that she's also a faculty member at CHSG Academy and studies front-end engineering. So without further ado, our speaker for today, we can't clap, but we can wave at you on Zoom. And for the audience on YouTube, you're welcome. Over to you, Miss Esther.
Good afternoon, everybody. Please, who can confirm that you can hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, that's perfect. Okay, give me 1 second, please. Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Okay, the topic for today, I would have loved to retitle it, right, which I did, by calling it Innovative Sustainability, right? That is the technical or the technological advancements in Africa, right? Before I even proceed, Africa is kind of looked down on, and due to the fact that people assume that we are the third, we have third set countries in Africa. So the economy and Africa generally is just undermined, right? So technology and sustainability and this topic being very important could help us understand why, sorry for that, could help us understand why we need technology, right? So my summary has been given already. Right, then introduction. The importance of technological advancements in Africa for sustainability cannot be overemphasized or overstated, right? This presentation is going to explore the innovative solutions and their impact on this continent. We're also going to tie these topics to today's technical world and all of that. And I would like to highlight that I had a challenge in the previous week trying to tie this particular topic with today's tech world. And why that is because most people know today's tech world as web design, web development, UI, UX, AI, machine learning, and all those things, right? So it was quite difficult to tie, okay, how can you make your website sustainable? Or how can you make your UI, UX design sustainable? How can you work with AI to make AI sustainable for the future? right? But we thank God for inspiration. Inspiration eventually came. So I'm going to go straight into the slides. Then I'll be interjecting once in a while, right? So it can be quite what's the word? Quite interactive, right? So yeah, I gave a few definitions here: sustainability, technology, and innovation. Sustainability is meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs, right? For instance, if you say, oh, okay, something is sustainable, right, it provides a solution for today's problem without limiting or destroying the chances of your future generation trying to solve a similar problem but in a better way, or in fact in the same way. Do you get support? It doesn't limit them, rather it gives them ways and maneuvers their way around the problem, right? Then technology is the application of scientific knowledge to the practical aims of human life. When you say, oh, okay, this thing is technology, you're just basically applying 1 + 1 = 2 into real life, right? I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to explain in layman English, right? Then innovation is the process of bringing about new ideas, methods, products, services, and solutions that can be that can have a significant positive effect and value. Innovation is basically thinking about new ideas in summary, right? If you are being innovative, or if you want your department or you as a person to be innovative, you have to keep on thinking about creative ways to solve problems. Basically, that's what innovation is about, right? So the importance of sustainable technology. The importance of sustainable technology in Africa is multifaceted, and it is also deeply impactful. The importance of technology cannot be overemphasized, not to talk of sustainable technology, because it helps us with energy access. It helps us with, let me call it Nigerian way, NEPA light, right? Economic development and job creation. It helps us with healthcare improvements. It helps us with educational advancements, and of course, resilience building. Why did I say sustainable technology will help us with energy access? Right, this will reduce the dependency on Nigerian fuels, or like fuels in general, right? And it will also help us improve the standards of living. When you think about a method to improve NEPA light, for instance, someone thought of solar energy, and it has helped a lot of people, right? That is sustainable tech idea. Am I making sense? So things like that help reduce the fuels that are used for light conservation and light access, energy access, and it definitely improves the living condition. Right? Let me give an example. Last week, Saturday and Sunday in my house, right? There was heat, like it was so bad because we had like light issues in our area. So it was so bad to the point that for the entire week, they were buying petrol every day, 20,000. And it was like, how much am I making in a month? I'll be spending 20,000 around on petrol every day. That was how bad it was. So imagine if, okay, God blesses us and we now eventually put solar in our house, or we put something of that nature in our house, right? It will improve the living condition. I will not be sweating. I will not be confused. I will not be irritated, right? Because I mean, I will have lights to a very reasonable extent. Then healthcare improvements, we have telemedicine. Telemedicine is a very, very important example, right? Because you can just log into an application and sign up or sign in, right? And when you do that, you can view your medical records, you can ask the doctor for consultancy, you can do as many things with technological improvements on healthcare, right? Then we have education. Education in the sense of internet access. Right. Internet can never be separated from education. Most people's education start and end with the internet, literally. Right. In the university, for instance, 80% of your work is on the internet. I'm not going to lie, whether you're in private school, you're in public school, you're in whatever school, your work is on the internet. Literally, you make or you get more information on the internet as it were. Right. So that can be defined as one of the importance of sustainable technology in Africa. Then the overview of technology. I listed three out. Of course, there are many. We have energy, we have electricity, we have agriculture, and of course, we have water scarcity and pollution in Africa. So we're looking at energy, right? Energy basically NEPA like in Nigeria everywhere. So energy has different sources. Let me start from there. You can derive your sources from the solar, which is the sun. You can derive it from the wind. You can derive it from water. Right? But of course, in Africa, we have not moved to that point where you derive energy or you derive light from the sun or from the wind. But of course, we're getting solar energy once in a while. Right? So imagine if every house in Nigeria had solar energy. Most people will not even leave their house, will not even leave their houses anymore, and the cost of living will significantly reduce because NEPA will not be chopping your money every time. Am I making sense? So that's what I mean by energy as a sustainable technology invention, renewable energy, basically. Because it can also create an opportunity to provide clean, sustainable, and affordable and accessible electricity, especially in areas without existing power infrastructure. That's very important because for houses and other regions that have NEPA lights wired to their house, it's quite difficult for you to say, oh, okay, you want to derive your electricity from the wind, especially in Nigeria. Except you have so much money that you want to cut off your NEPA lights and remove their cables and run another cable that will be able all those things. But for people who don't have, or for houses or areas who don't have current power infrastructure, it's quite easier for you to run this kind of electricity or renewable energy to their houses. Then, of course, agriculture. The importance of technology in agriculture cannot be overemphasized, right? It really cannot be. Basically, because I'm going to give examples, definitely. There is a particular application in agriculture, right, that is called Hello Truck, right? They basically connect people who own agricultural equipment like tractors and all those things. They connect them to the farmers for rentage, buying, and all those stuff. So it's easier for you to communicate with the person who borrowed your tractor, who borrowed your equipment, and also to for you to collect your money. So they basically know hanky-panky here and there. Right. It's also there's also one in Kenya where it allows you to limit your harvest losses. Right. So you can connect with a potential vendor or a retail vendor on the application. They come and buy your things from you via the application. All you do is just deliver your items to them and they pay you and then the goods are there. Right. So imagine all these kind of things being built in Nigeria. I'm not saying Nigeria is the first study because that's where we are. Right. So imagine all these things being built in Nigeria, for instance. That will really reduce the economic stress. It will increase and improve the cost of living, right? Or it will improve the living condition and reduce the cost of living, right? And many other things like that. So agriculture and technology go hand in hand. They cannot be overemphasized. Right. Then for water scarcity and pollution in Africa. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say this applies to Africa, but Africa is our case study. Water pollution goes all around the world, right? But there are different technologies that can be used to purify water, which was talked about with sustainable technology invention, because it will not in any way affect the future generation from building up on that kind of technology, if I'm making sense. So yeah, and smart water management systems. They are internet-based systems that enable real-time monitoring and water management, the quality of the water you drink, the optimization of the water distribution, and reduce wastage of water. Right. So these are basically management systems that help you monitor how your water is being used, the cleanliness of your water, and all these kind of things. These are things that can be easily built by web developers, inclusive of AI technicians, and all those things can just be collaborated to make Africa a better place. Then we have the roles of digital innovation and connectivity. Connectivity is me and you consistently connecting via technology. That's the simple definition of connectivity, right? And it plays a virtual role in, in sustainable technology in Africa, transforming how communities address their challenges and improve their condition of living, right? So we have this enhances the access of information. The technology cannot, or rather, cannot be separated from communication, right? Information, communication, all lies on the bed of technology, which is why I mentioned initially that education and technology and the internet, most especially, cannot be separated, especially for people who are in higher institutions. I mean, people who are in secondary school, actually, right? So information, connectivity, and technology go hand in hand together to improve a better, to get a better Africa, and of course, to increase sustainability. Then those who facilitate remote work and education. Remote work and education is what is going on right now. Like everybody wants to get a remote job. I mean, I want to be making money from my bed kind of vibe, right? And innovation and connectivity helps you do that. You cannot be working from your bed or working remotely without being innovative and without being digital. I hope I'm making sense, right? And then it also helps you reduce your carbon footprint because you'll be staying in your house and you'll be doing your meeting online and all these kind of things. And then it also opens doors to remote education and it enhances training for the next generation without the cost of traditional schooling, right? Most people in Nigeria right now, because of the exchange rates, they cannot really travel abroad to do their masters or to do their PhD. But the same degree I get from me being in my house, doing my master's degree, is what somebody will spend millions of naira to travel abroad to get the same degree. Am I making sense? So that's why it's quite difficult, or rather it's easier, right, to just say, oh, okay, let me just do this thing from my house and get it done. And by doing that, they are basically enhancing sustainability, right, without the actual cost of traveling to the abroad, to your master's, buying your ticket in dollars and all these things. Then, of course, empowering women and vulnerable communities, right? Women in technology is very, very passionate to me. And why I say that is because, first of all, I'm a woman, of course, and it wasn't really easy coming into the tech field. Of course, I mean, we had a lot of senior people in my class. I studied management information systems, and it was a private school. So, yeah, we had a lot of good female people in my class, right? But people who were actually into the tech were not really a lot. So empowering women is very, very important to me as a person and more importantly to many other figures in the technology world, right? So this helps you to empower women and also to empower vulnerable communities. Now, to the most important part of this entire presentation, which is very dear to my heart, is how we are going to tie sustainability to web design, being that I am a front-end developer, I'm a front-end engineer, right? Although I have knowledge of back-end, but I'm still a front-end developer, right? So how do you tie sustainability to web design? And obviously, ending up in Africa or being in Africa as it's well. How does sustainability work hand in hand with being an African and also being a front-end designer or a back-end designer or a full-stack designer, right? A developer as well. All right, so first things first, we are meant to use optimized resources, that is compressed files to reduce the load of your data, right? Sorry for the noise, the back and forth. I sincerely apologize for that. So yeah, I was saying that you should use optimized images and compressed files to reduce your data load. Using pictures that are heavy will reduce the speed of your website, number one. it will increase the energy your servers consume, right? And also the devices that access your website, their battery will speedily reduce. Like it's actually a fact. It's actually a fact, right? So you should use pictures that are compressed. Of course, we want low quality picture or compressed picture. So when you're downloading features from the internet for your website, right, you should ensure that you use compressed files. Or even if you're downloading it straight up, right, you can compress your file using another website, right, and then upload to your design or to your website as well, or to your code. Right. Then effective coding. Effective coding and clean coding helps your browsers to retain more efficiency and to reduce the processing power that is required. Clean coding in the sense that it uses semantic elements, not only in HTML or in CSS, but also in React, also in JS, right? You should use clean coding. You should use comments that are easy to that can make somebody easily understand your website, right? And also other things like divs for HTML is a way to make your work neater and cleaner, right? As well as some other elements and tags that can be used for effective coding, right? So then we have green hosting. Green hosting is basically you choosing a web hosting provider that uses renewable energy to power their websites for sustainability. There are various examples. You can look at them by yourself, but I'm going to give you like 2 or 3. Right? You can look at Green Geeks. Those ones are very, very good at um, innovations and initiatives for sustainability. Right? They allow you to easily know, oh, okay, I'm actually being a good citizen of the world, right? By being innovative, by being sustainable, right? So they give you initiatives, they highlight to you that, oh, okay, this is what you're going to do to make sure that you are innovative. They do that at every point in time. Although they are not the best cost effective wise, right? But at least they they have more advantages than disadvantages to say the least. Right? And then we also have the host gigas. Those are the ones that are low in cost. They are very, very low in cost, and they are also green hosting. They are not as green geeks, but they are trying. They are trying, right? So yeah. Then we have dark mode. When I first of all started coding or using the system, actually, I thought that people that were using dark mode were just using Shaka. It looks nicer. Literally, when you're on dark mode on your phone or on your laptop, it just looks nicer. But without it being said, right, you are basically reducing the energy your phone consumes, right, which is in turn you being sustainable, right, or having a mindset of sustainability. I hope I'm making sense. Then you have accessibility. Your website should be accessible to all, whether to be blind, to be deaf. I know it's quite difficult to highlight this particular point, especially in web design or in UX UI design, right? But then the way around it, the way around it. So your website should be accessible to all, with those who are with deformities, with disabilities, and of course those people who are normal. Your website should be accessible to everybody, right? And then mobile first designs. Well, this cannot be overemphasized. Why am I saying that? You should build your mobile application first before building your website. Why that is basically because, first of all, your mobile application will attend to a lot of things that your web application or your website may not be able to attend to, right? And of course, it also feeds a larger amount of people compared to your website. If, okay, let me give you an example, right? I work in Ebonyi State. I work for Ebonyi State government during my NYSC, and I was part of their development team, right? And a very good example, we were told to build a web app, right? But then somebody said, oh, to be sure somebody the website, right? And see how the flow will go. I'm sorry, I can't give exact details of that information, being that it was confidential, but just following with the story. Right? We were told to build a web application, but we were like, oh, okay, let's do the website first and see how this will go. Right. And this website was meant to be deployed in different areas of the state. Right. So it was quite difficult to upload that website, or rather to allow access to that website for different parts of the state at the same time without the website crashing. It was very difficult. But when we were able to do the web app, it was easier, or rather the mobile application, it was easier for us to deploy it to different systems across the state, minimizing how many times we crash it. That's just a perfect example. Right. So that's why I said you should build your web applications on your web or your mobile applications first before you build your website to avoid it crashing on your own. Number two, for it to be more sustainable, right? And also for it to reach a larger amount of people. And also with your mobile application, your pages go faster than you being on websites where there's a lot of traffic and then your network now starts to drag, right? So yeah. Also, we have experiments with new technologies. The effect of AI and machine learning cannot be overemphasized. AI and machine learning is literally the oil inside tech right now, if I'm making sense, right? So AI should be involved or should be used, right, in almost every single thing you do, including your web design and your web development. And obviously, not just you asking ChatGPT to give you code, but for you to implement the use of AI in your coding, in your UI, UX, in whatever aspect of tech you are in, AI cannot be overemphasized. Blockchain technology cannot be overemphasized, right? So if you don't know what blockchain is, you can go and do your research on it. I mean, the money in blockchain, right? So yeah, and then feedback systems. Well, some people are believe that they are too good to the point that they don't need the feedback from the users of their systems. Yeah, this is very terrible because you can never know if your innovation, right, or what you created is sustainable or even good for the people that you deployed it for. You have just deployed it and you have left it. That's not a sustainable way to invent something, right? You should always be able to get feedback. Access to feedback is very important so that you can be able to say, oh, okay, next time I'll do it like this, or during the next upgrade, I'll do it like this, right? So that's very important. Then performance testing. Performance testing is very, 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 very important, right? In my office, right, we continuously monitor the network. We monitor the internet. We monitor the speed of the internet continuously, right? So once we know that, okay, there's a downtime, we know that, okay, this was the time it started from. And, oh, okay, how do we do this? How do we do that? What's the solution, right? So if we're not monitoring the network, for instance, or the speed of the internet, there's basically no way we would know, except for the call of an like, bro, your network is down. And be like, okay, when did that happen? We now start questioning the person. When we should have known that, okay, the network is actually down. Right. So continuous testing, continuous performance testing is very, 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 very important because it also regulates the speed of your network and the efficiency of your website as well. So calls to action, calls to action. It is very, 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 very important, right, that you talk to your stakeholder in your department that you should invest in sustainable technology advancements in Africa, because together we can provide a positive environment impact. We can also increase the growth of the economy, and also we can create a sustainable legacy for future generations. Right. So in conclusion, innovative technology advancements are paving the way for sustainable futures in Africa. By addressing the challenges, embracing collaboration, and driving impactful change, we can create a prosperous and sustainable continent for generations to come. Thank you for listening. Again, my name is Esther. I don't know if there are any questions that I will need to take, right? But I'm done with my presentation anyway. So I was hoping to take questions for the next 10 minutes if there are any questions that anybody has for me or any contributions that I would like to take. Um, Hi, Derek. Do you have any questions for me?
Actually, I'm still thinking of the question to ask.
Wow.
Wait. I'm still thinking on the question to ask, but the question dropped, but I don't know how to correct it. But the next 1 minute,
No,
I
you
will
just express yourself in the best way you can. I will try
yes,
my best.
I will frame the question, then I will let you know.
All right, that's fine. Uche, do you have any question for me?
Question on the break.
No, good afternoon. No, I don't have any question. Thank you.
William, do you have any question for me?
No questions.
Okay. I'm so sorry. The last person on this call, I can't really pronounce your name, and I don't want to butcher it, right? But I hope that if you have a question for me, you can speak up.
Hello, ma.
Yeah.
All right. Based on this field, front end, or let me even call it programming as a whole.
Yeah.
I've been battling with this particular question for so long. You know, this time, this life we are is what's reigning based century by century. How long can this particular front ends reign, or at what century will it stop raining, or is it for eternity?
Wow. Well, I am not God, so I can't answer the question
No,
correctly.
coding just started just a while. Bram, it was not it was not like this before. But now that everybody eyes are now open to coding because it's the hot cake now. You know,
Yeah.
very soon now, maybe years to come now, another technology also will come up. Pam, wherever it's going to overshadow this coding. Let me also rush in it. Will coding die down or it will not?
Well, like I said, AI is involved, right? And AI can actually build a website for you, literally. So to answer your question,
Mhm.
Hello,
yeah, hi.
my name is Sulaiman
Okay, nice.
from Telecom. I heard someone is asking that can coding go down? Coding cannot go down. Another technologies can come and make coding go down. This can never happen. The reason is that because computer do not know anything that you want to do. One that we do is that hey, computer go, and we are the ones that will create it that we should go. It cannot do anything. That is why I say it cannot go down. But if another system come, it will be under coding because coding is very one. We are doing coding because everywhere in technology now, everywhere in the world now, they are going back to technology.
Yeah.
To make that technology easier, are you getting my point, ma?
Yeah,
To make that technology easier, you have to code. We have to make everything to implicate in everything that we want to do. Which is that we write code on it. If technology comes, the technology that can change everything now is AI. And that AI too, if you don't know code, you cannot manipulate AI on code. Unless you know code, you know how to code, you can manipulate AI. But if you cannot manipulate AI, you cannot know how to code. That is why we have to know coding better. We have to know everything about coding because we have to know it. I know that I say we have to know it better, sha. We have to code. Code anything can change the thing that can change what is technology. And that technology is about coding. We want to be hospital management, we want to go clinical, we want to be robotic, we want to be anything. Everything is under coding. That is my own suggestion of that person that asked that. If another technology comes, coding can go down. No, coding cannot go down. Coding is very going day by day. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Um, well, for me, I would not say coding cannot go down, and I would not say coding will remain the hot cake, right? Because there's networking, there's cybersecurity, there's other aspects of technology, right? So I would not necessarily say with my full chest that coding cannot or can go down, right? But what I will let you know is to keep on in as technology keeps on changing or rather innovating or increasing in different aspects, right? We should also increase with it, right? Don't necessarily say, okay, because I'm a front-end developer and money is entering my pocket now, it should be like that in the next 10 years. That's not true, right? Udeme, please, I will get to you. Let me keep it what I'm saying, right? So that's why I would say that as technology keeps on increasing or changing or innovating, right, you should also improve yourself alongside technology, right? Coding is not going to be there forever, right? AI now is the new hot cake, right? AI, cybersecurity, data analytics, data science, even before you call front-end and back-end programming or website development, right? You must have mentioned AI, you must have mentioned cybersecurity, you must have mentioned data analysis, you must have mentioned data science, right? So that's just my own take on it. Of course, you can do research on it. Can programming go down or not? I will tell you for free that coding now and in the next 10 years will definitely not be the same. That's my own take. So yeah, let me you can speak.
Yeah, so I just wanted to buttress your points, right, on programming language, whether it's going to whether it's going to be sustainable or not.
Yeah.
I believe programming language can be implemented by AI, right?
Yeah.
So, like you said, it's probably not going to be the same. Like using programming language may not be implemented in the same way. The same, they are still very important. So, even if we're moving into the age of artificial intelligence, we can still use programming language. Those artificial intelligence will still implement programming languages in various tasks that they undergo. So for the bone of contention actually is that technology is evolving, just like every other thing is evolving. So we can't just say it will die down at this particular time, or it will still be remaining, it will still be relevant at this particular time. But it's one of the foundations. So I think it will be there, but not as relevant as before. That's what I think.
Yeah, here. Ms. Passion, what do you have to contribute? Somebody asked the question. The question was basically, can technology, or rather coding as we were, be relevant in the next 10, 20 years? Like, would it be hot cake in the next 10, 20 years?
All right. Well, let me first say fantastic presentation by Esther. That was amazing. To answer the question, the honest truth is the level of skill that we need to create solutions is not only about coding. When we create solutions, and we're going to be talking about this next week, creating solutions, we're going to be bringing a product manager. She's also a product designer and a product analyst. She's built Clinify. Let's take an example of the product she built in Canada. It's a kind of like a competitor to our Hospital Universal Management System at CHSG. It's an EMR. I was at Federal Medical Center trial yesterday, and there's an human factor that can never be replaced in any sector. The human factor in health, the human factor in tech, the human factor in media, the human factor in arts can never be replaced. What will happen is you will now have professionals that have so much more tools. We mentioned them, artificial intelligence, machine learning, ChatGPT is there. There's even an AI to help you with your PowerPoint presentation these days. So knowledge is ever increasing. We're in the jet age right now. Knowledge is ever increasing. And with much more knowledge, is you now get to a point of almost oversaturation. Like, okay, the knowledge is so much, you can download like 20 books in the space of 10 minutes. Where do you want to have time to read all that? You have so much AI tools for product design. You can convert your Figma code to HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You can convert your code back to even Figma file. I'm working on a project currently that is basically blockchain heavy. And if you look at the project from start to finish, you think, my goodness, in 20 years' time, the level of knowledge that will be needed to solve problems is going to be higher. So all I would just say is, if you do a training right now in 3 months' time, maybe you're in our CHSG Academy and do training, apply continuous learning, because what you learned these 3 months might be obsolete by August. That's just the honest truth. As long as you keep up with continuous learning, you as a programmer, you cannot be obsolete. In fact, what will now happen is you will now be able to use these tools more to make better products. And that's what we're going to discuss next week. I think the flyer is already with one of our staff sessions, and she'll share it with everybody before we end. You get building products is more these days about product market fit. You get, from a product manager's point of view, you have more tools to build a product that they're already begging for it in the market. You get, if you want to build the next, I don't know, Piggyverse. Thank God, Esther is a CU graduate, and Piggyverse was from a CU graduate also. If you want to be the next Piggyverse, you have to do a lot more work than Piggyverse, because Piggyverse already set a standard. Now you have to use all the tools you have: AI, product designer, product manager, DevOps guys. You get, stay at the cutting edge, and I'll be like, okay, there is we do a comparative analysis of all the saving apps, Piggyverse, I don't know, all the other microfinance banks that you have out there, and you'll be like, okay, here's the gap they've not filled. You're able to analyze that faster. If you just go to ChatGPT right now and type what is Piggyverse missing, I can guarantee you ChatGPT will come up with something for you. Like, Piggyverse in Nigeria is missing this. It will shock you. So you as a programmer, you have more tools, but you have to stay at the cutting edge. You have to go for seminars. I'm talking to you right now from a conference, Young Entrepreneur Summit. They invited me. I didn't want to come, but eventually I had to come. Why? Because the Commissioner for Industrial and Innovation in Ogun State was here. I have a lot of innovative ideas, from waste management to logistics, that I want to talk to him about. Thankfully, I was able to just still see him and everything. If I didn't come out today, one, I'll miss my chance of meeting the commissioner. So as a programmer, don't stay at home and be like, I've learned everything on YouTube. Go out there, network with people. You get, network with guys that are even above you. I loved in Esther's bio, she said our skills have put her in rooms beyond our age. You get, we're in the age where nobody should despise your youth. You get a lot of young guys coming up in tech, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, even 80-year-olds in China, they are coding right now. I told my wife that my 7-year-old son, we bought a mini laptop for him around Easter. And I'm like, this guy must start creating solutions, not just teaching him coding. At the end of the day, tech is about creating solutions for people. You get, if you are not people driven and you are money driven, you will not last in tech. I've been doing tech, I keep telling people, since 2004. And since 2004, yes, I was in a good environment. I was in the US, I was making good money. But there's some seasons from 2008, when there was a cash crunch in the US, to like 2011, where there was so much, in fact, we had retrenchment in my tech firm then in Chicago. What happens if you lose your job in tech? Can you still be passionate enough to create solutions for people, to help people? this webinar right now, Esther is collecting not a dime from CHSG. This is going to go on YouTube, it's going to go on Facebook. Are you able to contribute to your own quota to the tech ecosystem? As long as you are providing value, you can never be obsolete as a programmer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, Daria, I hope you have tried possibly best to answer your question. But I still stand by saying that we cannot put a time frame as to when technology or coding will go out of place. I hope I've tried to answer your question.
Yes, you are, though. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, in the absence of no questions, right, I'm just gonna say a few things. Give me a second, please. So I'm going to say a few things just to refresh our memory that's going to be a take home for us today, right? I mentioned and I emphasized that technology is the use of scientific knowledge to use for practical purposes and applications, whether in the industry or in our everyday lives, right? Technology is knowledge that you are just using to make your life easier. That's the summary. So anything around that, it doesn't have to be coding, it doesn't have to be UI UX design, it doesn't have to be cybersecurity, it doesn't have to be networking, it doesn't have to be the actual tech that we know in Nigeria. But as far as the knowledge that you are using to solve today's problems, right? Scientific knowledge, mind you, they are able to solve today's problems, then they are ready to take go or take it, right? Then sustainability is very, very important in our everyday life, right? Then I also mentioned a few ways at which you can make your code sustainable. I mentioned that you should use optimized images. I mentioned that you should use dark mode most times, right? I mentioned continuous performance testing. I mentioned a few other things that this slide will be available on the group after this call, by the way. So you can go through the slide whenever you want to refresh your memories, right? So just ensure and try as much as possible to be sustainable in your tech, right? Because each person in Africa is an African, right? And in as much as you may not like Africa, you're in Africa. Each thing you do contributes to the entirety of Africa, even as a 0.001% person in the entire Africa. Whatever you do contributes to the sustainability of Africa. If not for you, think about your future children. So yeah, I'm done. Thank you so much for joining us today. Again, my name is Esther Joshua. So I'm done. Thank you guys so much for the time. I really do appreciate it. Please have a wonderful day.
All right, I think I'll just round it up here. Thank you so much, Esther. Thank you, everybody. I see so many people. I see Hafiz is back after learning the cybersecurity. Still wants to learn how to build sustainable products. To the YouTube audience, thank you for staying with us this long. Next week is going to be our final webinar in the 1 month long series. And our speaker is a product manager, a product designer, and also a product analyst. She has worked with so many brands from all over the world. I spoke earlier about her building part of the product design team that built Cleanify. You can check it out. It's out there, based in Canada. And yeah, she'll be talking about navigating product launches from idea to market success. Hope to see everyone there next week. Thank you so much for your time. Have a blessed day.